Hello, I'm Sophie Scott. Welcome to Healthwatch. 1 in 4 cancer patients suffers from anxiety that's not been adequately picked up and treated. A new Australian study has found while patients' physical symptoms are being addressed, mental health is often ignored. There's no doubt getting a cancer diagnosis is a devastating blow, but a new study has found that often a patient's emotional well-being is ignored. Ian Roos was diagnosed with prostate cancer 12 years ago and suffered anxiety and depression.
It wasn't until 8-9 years after I was first diagnosed that I finally thought, look, I have to go and get help here, and went to see a psychologist and got the help I needed.
New research finds 1 in 4 cancer patients suffer from anxiety.
We need to recognise that not all patients are identified, and there is an underreporting and an undertreatment in this particular population.
Many patients developed panic disorder or needle phobias, and in the worst cases, some patients were unable to leave the house because of their anxiety.
So by intervening and working with people to help them with their emotional concerns, we can actually reduce some of the physical things that they might experience, like pain, for example.
Health experts say patients with anxiety can benefit from a range of treatments, including counselling. They say often patients are embarrassed and sometimes doctors are slow to pick up the signs of anxiety or distress.
The idea that 1 in 4 have a real anxiety disorder and a small percentage something quite serious like post-traumatic stress disorder means that we do need to be acutely aware and assess for the presence of these disorders in all of our patients.
Overall, 1 in 10 Australians suffers from anxiety. Australian doctors have found a way to reduce repeat fractures in osteoporosis patients by up to 80%. Researchers followed almost 500 patients at Sydney's Concord Hospital. They discovered that those who had regular monitoring were much less likely to end up back in hospital.
So, Terry, how are you?
Terry Hamilton went to a specialist when he fractured his pelvis 4 years ago.
He just said they'll heal themselves, and that was the only thing that no treatment or anything. So I just sort of continued on with life until the pain went away.
But the 74-year-old was suffering from undiagnosed osteoporosis and ended up with another fracture.
I think that if I'd had treatment after the first one, the second one wouldn't have happened.
Margaret Threlfall also had a fracture, but she was treated and followed up at Concord Hospital's fracture clinic.
When they discovered I had osteoporosis, they started treatment and they gave me lots of advice.
A new study has found that patients who receive regular treatment and follow-up care significantly reduce their risk of a further injury.
In the group that was managed by the Fracture Liaison Service, the refracture rate was only 4%, so 1 in 25 people over 4 years had another fracture.
Of those patients who didn't attend the clinic, 1 in 5 went on to have a second fracture.
Management reduced refracture rates by over 80% over 4 years.
At the moment, 4 out of 5 fracture patients don't receive proper treatment and monitoring.
It makes you very aware of everything, of what you're eating, what medicine you're taking, how to conduct your life.
Health experts say all patients with a fracture should be tested for osteoporosis and placed on a treatment and lifestyle plan to reduce their risk of a further injury. And Australian scientists have found that a class of drugs used to treat heart problems known as beta blockers can also reduce the risk of an osteoporosis fracture by about half. Osteoporosis affects 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men over the age of 50. That's all for Healthwatch. See you next time.